where the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. This is where the fun, this is where the fun, this is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
This is where the fun begins.
Who's the big guy with the muscles?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Toy Anxiety. My name is Craig Goldberg. Welcome to the show. We are live on Tuesday night. Joining us tonight, we have a special guest. He'll be here in just a few minutes. Ryan Dole is not with us tonight. He is on a much-deserved little vacation. He finally finished making. He's out of the Spider-Verse. He was in the Spider-Verse, and now he's out of it. He
found his way out.
He found his way out
of that tangled web.
And if that movie's great, we'll congratulate him. And if it's not, we'll blame him. It'll be great.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Good feelings about it.
Good feelings. So Ryan will return next week. Let me go ahead and say hello. The chat is already bumping. We're going to do some fun stuff tonight. A little bit more of a different kind of episode tonight because there's not that much news. And we're gonna tackle the tough questions. I hope you guys brought the heat, but we'll get to that in a few. Jacob Walsh, what's up, man?
Hey, I'm good, doing well. Whenever you're talking about Ryan, for some reason the first thing that popped in my head was Ryan Dole will return in
Toy Anxiety.
End of a Marvel. I saw somebody. There's a photo going around of Albert Einstein. Like a picture of Albert Einstein from Oppenheimer, that movie Oppenheimer is coming out.
Yeah.
And they revealed a picture of him and somebody posted it and they were like, after credits scene, and they were like, camera over his shoulder, he's writing on a piece of paper, E equals, and then it cuts to black, Albert Einstein will return in.
Shut the fuck up. Craig is so excited about that movie. Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, a lot of people
I know,
are.
I get it.
Craig is not the only person excited about Oppenheimer, okay?
It's a Leonardo thing to be excited about.
Anyways.
Yeah,
no, Leo's not in this one. It's Cillian Murphy.
I love him.
Abigail, how are you?
I'm great. I'm having a fun day. I've been having a fun week, been really busy. I love life and I love being here. This is like the treat that I've been looking forward to for the last several days. I missed everybody. And I love them, and the chat's just going off with just bringing the fun.
Bringing the fun.
Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and bring in our special guest tonight. Wait, look at this. What a tee up. James Vinipol says, "Hey Craig, Jay from Geek Dad said you told one of the funniest jokes he's ever heard. When and where can we hear this joke?" I don't even know what you're referring to, but let's.
Or if it can be told.
Yeah, if I said it, there's a good chance we can't say it out there. Let's welcome our guest tonight, all the way from North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they used to introduce Michael Jordan, but this is the Michael Jordan of toy YouTube, I will say. Mr. Jay Gladfeller. What's up, man?
Hello. So excited to be here.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
I was thinking to myself, man, I haven't hung out with my YHS friends in a minute. So I was really excited when Craig shot me the text. You always got to be ready for.
You just never know.
Toy anxiety signal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the toy anxiety signal. You look out and there's just a sweating toy collector in the sky. Jay, how are you, man?
Doing well. Excited to be a part of this AMA. Like, I feel like anything can happen. Anything can happen tonight. And that's why you need to be tuning in, hitting the like button.
There you go. Let's hit that like button. Let's if you're in the chat, we're going to say hi to y'all in a second. We did source all of our questions tonight from Facebook group therapy as well as the Discord. But if you have questions in the chat, if you got some good ones, we'll get to those as well. But I have a feeling,
especially if there's money attached to them.
Yeah, especially if there's money attached, we'll definitely get to it.
Absolutely,
yeah.
But let's we might
talk about the joke thing.
Let's talk about that. What's this joke?
Let's do it.
I think it was in our After Dark. Somebody brought up something Oh, I was defending your honor, Craig, because I'm a big Craig fan. I stan Craig. I'm a Craig stan.
You're the one.
And I was just
dozens.
referencing how there's a thing that we did, and it'll eventually be seen by the public. But
Yeah.
you had one of the best improv lines I think I've ever experienced, and I can't wait for other people to experience it because it was.
It's a joke we can't reveal yet.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a divine moment in
Yeah.
comedy for
Yeah.
Craig.
Yes. And I said so much so that a comedy legend,
I'll be the judge of that.
a comedy legend,
Heavens opened up.
a comedy legend was blown away by it. So I'm just saying,
There you
Craig,
go.
you are very funny.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll definitely have to reveal that. And then, I was going to talk to you about this off air, but StreamYard has this new feature where guests can now simulcast your streams onto their own channels.
Oh,
So we need to do some sort of mega stream one week
yes.
with like 4 different channels, and we'll just blow it up and have like 10 million viewers. It'll be great.
Yeah.
It'll
love
be
this
fantastic.
Mhm.
Well, let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. I do one programming note. No extreme toy anxiety tonight, but we will be doing a bonus stream for the Patreon a little bit later this week on Thursday. TLDR, we're tired. We're busy.
We're pet sitting.
We're pet
We're
sitting.
doing gigs.
Are we
running
doing
around.
Ghostbusters Radio Live on Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're gonna do that and then do
Yeah,
toy
we'll do.
anxiety thing after it.
Well, we'll either do toy anxiety or we'll do just a regular Patreon. We'll do something. Stay
Gotcha.
tuned for something.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right.
What about if it's a Ghostbusters live radio after show?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
called, you do After Dark, and ours is called After Death because there's
Afterlife.
ghosts. Afterlife.
Afterlife is even better.
Makes more sense because
That's
that is
better.
the title of
Thank
a
you, Jake.
Ghostbusters movie. So, anyways, that's where my brain's at. Well, let's go ahead and say hi to the chat. There's a lot of people here. So there we go. Davey's here. Flash, Blue Chainsaw Man, Silver K, Bearded Toy Guy, a punk with toys, Blue Chainsaw Man, Retro Cabal, Brian Brink, the man with the charts, Thanos Copter, Black Phoenix is here, Cobweb, Doralax and Ostradamus is here, Matt Bush in the house, Thanos Copter, Allison Troy, Tony Taylor, Black Phoenix, Just Call Me Crazy, Boba Wave, another punk chef. By the way, I think Just Call Me Crazy. I think he won our giveaway last week. So
Yeah, so congrats.
he'll be getting that Two-Face. Derek Hoover, Skylar Davis, Black Phoenix, R. Perby 44, Toy Geekosaurus, and Bacon McShig, and Andrew Bayless all the way
Whoa.
Wow.
from
From-
Australia and so many others. We appreciate you guys being here tonight. So like I said, not a whole lot of news. I mean, I think the biggest news last week was the superpowers reveals. Jay, you and Ryan did a great breakdown on your channel last week. I want everybody to go watch it. I know we're all excited about superpowers and all those.
It was a good. I don't know. It's like I feel like we've been sleeping on it for a while. Or it's like, is it even going to still be a thing? Or when are these pictures? We're going to finally see these figures.
Right.
Mhm.
Were leaked a while ago, and I thought it was a pretty solid reveal. I'm excited for him. I mean, what's any that are must buys for you? Gonna buy them all, then sell them? Like, what's the?
No, here's the thing. This is the good thing about McFarlane.
Yeah.
It's cheap. They're $10 a piece. Like,
Exactly.
they're fun. They look good on a shelf. They check all the boxes. I hope there's some questions tonight about modern toy collecting because I'm burnt out on it. I'm in my Jake. We go through these waves of modern and vintage, and
I'm not sure if I go through a wave. I'm pretty
Jacob's like,
sure
don't take me with you.
forever I've been talking about how much better vintage toys are than modern toys. That's
Mhm.
it's just the way it is.
yeah. But we've been talking about that for a long time. So we'll see. So there's a lot of questions. So we're not going to really do a traditional news segment unless there was anything anybody
There's
else
not
wanted
any.
to highlight specifically. But we'll just get to whatever happens next week. The only thing I want to say is you can see at the bottom of our screen, Carson Teva, 916 days
Mhm.
with no figures. Now,
So close though, so close last week.
Mhm.
so close because they pipelined a Carson Teva helmet.
I mean, we got one piece
But
of
with-
the puzzle.
But without a
Helmet's
Carson
pretty good.
Teva in it.
No, no head,
Right.
no Carson
We're not
Teva.
getting the likeness, right?
But it's it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
We'll say.
Mhm.
And if we get I'm going to aim for a brand team interview with the Hasbro Star Wars team at Comic-Con this year. And I'm
Mhm.
going to wear a shirt that says, "Where's my fucking Carson Teva figure?"
Yeah. They'll probably like redact it. They'll like just cross it out or put
Yeah,
like some
yeah.
tape over that.
We'll edit it out. We'll
Wait,
edit it out.
put that in the shop.
I was about to say, I know where you're going to get that shirt. Yeah.
before the end of the night.
Speaking of that, so I should tell everybody, we do have people ask about t-shirts. I'm wearing the Toy Anxiety shirt tonight.
Ooh,
You
very
can get it in the
nice.
shop. I'm going to put a link to the old t-shirt shop there and share. I got to share this before we get started. Our good friend Toy Farce, who's been supporting the channel, he's taken some Toy Anxiety lore to another level
Oh boy.
this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Did you guys hear about this?
You guys see this?
Check this out. On Toy News International, which is one of the biggest toy websites,
Mm-hmm.
Ewok Village confirmed.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
So, anybody who's been watching Toy Anxiety over the last year knows that we confirmed the next Star Wars HasLab was going to be in Ewok Village. As a joke, we said it so many times that Ryan started believing it. And one day, and one week,
Actualized.
I had to correct him, and he was like, "They already confirmed Ewok Village." I was like, "No, they did not. We made that up." He was like, "We did."
The beauty of that is I don't know if he's watching it, but Blake from Toy Collector, like when we were talking about it on our show, he was like, "Yeah, no, it's Ewok Village confirmed." Like I think it is, and you know, the editor and runner and founder of Toy Collector magazine. Like I feel like it's a snowballed into.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get Ryan on the cover of that magazine. It's just like a stamp fraud. So
Exposed.
So Toy Farce had a nice, obviously this is parody, but a nice article with some really good mock-ups. It even says here, let's see here. Last week, the Hasbro Star Wars team announced the next Star Wars related HasLab will be announced at Comic-Con. Rumors it could be it's a ghost.
Right there.
However, an anonymous source sent Toy Farce a clue about a possible long-awaited playset. We got the scoop from an anonymous source. Don't worry, Ryan, your secret's safe with us. So now I know this isn't real, and I own this already, the vintage one, but these pictures got me excited, even though it's something I literally have in the next room over. So
I'm looking at mine right now. It's a great place. The Sherwood Forest is better. Like there we go. Yeah.
Well, this army build for a bigger forest.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Now, because we're Toy Anxiety and we have to capitalize on everything, if you are a fan of the topic we're talking about right now, you could go to the t-shirt shop that I just linked in the chat and get your official Ewok Village confirmed t-shirt.
Whoa. I want one.
And,
we wear one at Comic-Con.
Mhm.
yeah, we all should wear those at Comic-Con.
Because we'll know preview night, right? I feel like it'll be in the booth preview night.
Yeah.
We here's the thing, we all wear this to the Star Wars panel, and when they
Yeah.
announce the HasLab isn't the Ewok Village, we all stand up with our Ewok Village confirmed and
Let's
walk
pass
the
out.
fuck out.
No, we
As many of these
we
as
walk
we can.
out while going like this. And I have a feeling this is going to happen this year as a very low-key inside joke. Going to Dragon Con dressed as the Star Wars brand team. We've talked about that because it's just that shirt, that special Star Wars shirt.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Who's gonna be the one that just stares at the prompter the whole time?
me. I love those guys.
It's
Anyways,
a great job.
Yeah,
I just feel because he's
totally.
staring at it, so scared. I'm like, it's gonna be okay. It's
I
gonna
feel
be-
bad. That's not any. We all know it's not easy to
No.
do.
No.
This. It's not
Mm-mm,
easy. So,
mm-mm.
anyways, okay. So listen, we're gonna get to some questions for the AMA. We have a super chat that just came in. Jake. Do you have any pickups?
No,
No.
none at all.
I got a
Yep.
care package I wanted to show off.
Okay.
Ooh.
Why don't we do one question here from the super chat, and we'll get Soulcraft on the super chat leaderboard, and then we can show that stuff off, and we'll dive in because there's a lot of questions. So,
Cool.
Soulcraft, thank you for the super chat. What vintage toy line has not gotten a retro or classic treatment yet? Would you want to come back? Now that's a good question. So,
And so many.
let's say, I mean, we've gotten Ghostbusters, we've gotten Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Ninja Turtles. So, is there a vintage line that has not gotten a proper retro re-release that we're
Jurassic
itching
Park.
for?
Jurassic
Okay.
Park hasn't. But I think I would maybe prefer something weirder, or Toxic Crusaders, or something that's expensive now.
Right, yeah. Something that we would like to get our hands on and not
Yeah.
Mhm.
okay. Yeah.
I got one.
Okay.
For me, I've always, and I have a vintage collection, but I love to have new ones that could be more fun to smash. The Crash Test Dummies toy line.
Okay.
They brought it back in the late 2000s, I think, and it needs to be brought back again. Really fun toy line.
What was the late 2000s version of that?
It was similar. They just didn't, because the original one, like everything would just blast off, like when you'd crash, like the head would pop off the arm
Right.
thing, and
Mhm.
the car would crunch up. But the late, I think it was mid 2000s. The Crash Dummies, like the head would just like pop up, or it was kind of like half-hearted.
Okay.
It'd be great to have like a smash or Crash Test Dummies.
Like a proper one.
back and forth.
Mhm.
Three comments in a row said Dino Riders. which
Oh,
would be cool.
yeah, that would be cool. I was
It'd be
thinking
cool.
like, go.
No, you go ahead.
No. I was changing subjects, so you good. You're good.
Oh, I was just gonna say that'd be cool, but I feel like they won't do that because it's really easy to like crank out a mold of a Ninja Turtle, but like Dino Riders, where everything has 50 pieces to it, they're not doing that shit.
But they're so hard to find one complete
Yeah.
and not broken.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love some retro, like mid-90s looking Littlest Pet Shop, like a release of like the first wave or the second
Ooh,
wave
yeah.
stuff would be real nice. Because now they have a little different look to them, which is cool and I like it, but I like the old style.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Dino Riders is a really great answer. It's not that there's a line that I want. I wish that more of the retro lines would do what Star Wars and Indiana Jones are doing, where they're putting out figures that didn't exist but in the
Mhm.
style.
Yeah.
I love that. Like if they put out proper Kenner Real Ghostbusters figures of like, Phoebe and Podcast, or like a new Janine and Louis Tully or something like that. Just
Yeah.
stuff like that where it's like it feels like you're expanding on the original line.
Yep.
Would be really, really cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, good question. Let's McFly, I got your super chat up, but we're gonna go to that in just a second. Abby, why don't you go ahead and show off what you wanted to show off?
Sure, yeah. This is a care package that was sent to me by Davey Sockrocker, who, hey there in the chat, we've already said hi to, but yeah, they really touched me with like a super nice letter, which I'm not going to read. But it was a really personal, nice note that like literally made my day, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah, and I wrote a similar letter. I did not.
Brought a little tear to my eye. And then the care package that they sent me was this little Fortnite arcade game, which is awesome. I was just playing the new like Star Wars update that they put out on Star Wars Day is awesome. I have my Padme character, and I'm amazing at it, and I can't wait to get back.
And I'm amazing.
I'm at level 78, and I am really good with the Force. Then there's lots of fun little like sticker packs, and then there's Mario cards here. Let's see, we got Toys R Us lanyard, which is just
Ooh.
absolutely perfect. There's some fun dice in here from Nightmare Before Christmas, and then Fozzie. Oh yes, little Fozzie bears.
shit.
So
Muppet babies.
Muppet babies, and that's
Hey, what about those coins?
actually yeah. Here, do you want to show the coins?
No,
off?
I
Craig
just-
was the
I
most
just-
excited about these coins.
They're like Mario
They're-
coins.
yeah.
that's
Let me.
sick.
Whoa,
Yeah,
what are
well,
those?
like-
What are those from?
Those are the official
cool.
currency of the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I should send these to Ryan. He can get some
He can buy something
while he's over
in-
there. Yeah, a little candle. That's from Dinosaur Dracula, which is so cool.
Let's
and-
not promote other people. Just kidding.
Hey,
What kind
cool.
of
That dude's great. That
Great.
dude has been like seriously vital for a long time.
Shit. Sorry.
And then this is the crowning piece, the Honeybee Acres Rainbow Ridge. It is not a calico critter, but same exact thing, and I absolutely love. This is for the Sweet Dreams pajama party. Lilac is excited to have her pajama party in her rainbow tent. She can watch movies and eat pizza and popcorn, which that just sounds like a fun night. I'm excited about that. So thank you so much, Davey.
I thought at first it said Rainbow Bridge, and I was like, well, that's dark. It's just heaven for animal. You just
The
bought
Rainbow Bridge.
Rainbow Bridge. Jesus.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
You
awesome.
can walk
That's where
across into the afterlife. That's great.
That's where I like
That's actually maybe something that should exist.
Warduke says the coins are from some blind boxes. So yeah, that was really cool.
These are
Very
sick
cool.
coins.
We appreciate that, or Abby appreciates.
Yeah, I do.
Wow,
I
it's almost like
did.
you should give Davey a phone call or something.
We owe him a
Yeah, I
phone
owe you
call.
a phone
Hey,
call.
actually, let's. Davey,
Let's do it right now.
Let's call him right now.
I'll DM. No, that won't. be
Davey,
fun
what's your
for
phone
anybody.
number?
We'll figure that out
You want to do it
tonight.
in front of everyone?
We'll figure that out because we owe you a phone call. Okay, I've got 2 really quick pickups, and then we'll get into these questions. So,
Wait, I have pickups. Can I not share?
yeah, of course you can.
No,
You're
it's
the-
fine. Whatever.
No, I want you to.
Please
Go first.
Okay, good. So mine, I forgot to have during my After Dark thing, 'cause that's where we paywall our pickups because we're jerks.
We've heard.
it's the future.
But Matt Bush sent John and I both the toy versions of Lino and Mumra. So
That's awesome.
really pumped about it because these look freaking amazing and I really want them.
Are these the original Super 7 releases?
So yeah, these are Super 7, but these are the toy versions.
Oh, these are like, okay, so they're not based on the animated series. They're based on the original.
They look like the toy, and the colors really pop. Let's see. Here we go.
Don't maybe want Thundercats toys.
Mm-mm.
Like, look at that.
That's great.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, big thanks to Matt Bush.
Very cool. Very cool.
Matt Bush rules.
Matt Bush is great. He's one of the good ones.
That's it.
That's it. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Very nice.
That's a great pickup. I went over to Second Chance Toys, which is our preferred local toy shop.
That's an amazing shop. You took me there. That is an incredible.
That's where we take people when they come to
Yeah.
town. Like, you
Mhm.
gotta go.
Yeah.
I sold some stuff. I had a bunch of crap that that's been building up in the house. Sold them some stuff, made a little deal, got some cash, got some store credit because I'm not going to leave without anything. And I sold a bunch of modern toys and walked out with vintage toys. So it was a win for me, a loss for them. So this is what I got. I got a Womp Rat Destroyer. That's right.
Ooh.
A vintage X-Wing. Pretty great condition. I doubt it works battery-wise, but I don't care. I don't know what these are supposed to cost these days, but I think this was like $65 or something. I think I got a pretty good. Got a pretty good deal.
That's cute. Yeah.
Got to put a Luke in there. It's got an astromech on the back. And,
Yeah.
It's from New Hope Star Wars. So adding to the old vintage Star Wars collection there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now you get the Empire one. That's like a darker gray.
Well, that's the problem with the vehicles and playsets on the vintage line is like there's multiple variants.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I got Jabba's Dungeon.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Which now-
Droid torture.
Wow. Is
Yeah.
that nice? Look at that. What is that?
It's like it's very
It
nice.
looks like leftover plastic.
If I see that, I'd say that's nice.
It's the
It's-
droid factory that they read.
Yeah, they reuse the Droid Factory, and I also believe that there's a re-release of this, like a tan version that was Power of the Force, right? That was like more rare. Is that true? Am I making things up?
I'm not aware of that one. I just know there was the Droid Factory, which was tan or like a orangey color, and
Right,
then,
there's an orange one. Yeah.
and then this one was Return of the Jedi. There was 2 versions of this one. One came with the Mana Man, which is the
Right.
exclusive one.
Yes, that's the one. Matt Bush sent me a Mana Man last week. It was a very kind gift from him.
Oh man, do you have somebody was selling a yak face on Facebook and locally, and I almost pulled the trigger, and I was like,
Was it on Yak Facebook?
no.
I'm sorry.
But they wanted 300, and I was like, ooh, that's tempting, but I just don't know. I don't trust you. What if it's like a repro or something?
Yeah, that seems cheap for a Yak face. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where's your calico critters, Jay? That's what we bring to the
Yeah.
table over here.
I didn't have any recent pickups for Calico Critters.
Whoa! I just got called out. Come on, Craig. The Womp Rat Destroyer is Luke's T-16 Skyhopper, not an X-wing.
Wow.
How
Right.
the X-wing or how I don't know.
Yes.
I'm trying to save you, Craig, here, but he
I
did
know.
say it as he was getting ready to go into the X-wing.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was referencing. But, they'll keep us honest over here. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We had a bunch of questions coming earlier. Why don't we do this, chat? If you have questions, we'll try to get to them, but there's a chance we'll lose them. So let's have some designated times a little bit later on where we can answer some questions.
And if they're
But
bad, we're skipping them.
100%.
Make them
Okay.
good.
All right. So we'll start with group therapy, which is our official Facebook group. If you're not
What
a
is
member.
group therapy?
Abby?
It's a closed group on Facebook. All you have to do is search for Yes Have Some Podcast Group Therapy. You'll find it. You can request to join. One of us will accept you. And it is a wonderful space that is meme free where you can post about your collections and the things that you're buying and trying to get. And
Beetlejuice too.
yeah, you can talk about new movies. We can talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Let's not.
It's tough.
I'll start crying.
Honestly, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, same.
I haven't been able to go back and see it again. I really want to, but look, we can talk about that in group therapy.
There you go.
Boom.
All right, here we go, guys. Here we
No
go.
memes.
Questions. First one, Rich Green, Powerball Green. When you're truly out of room and space danger is at a maximum, do you move some things into storage unit or consider moving to a bigger house to satisfy your display and collecting needs?
I'm always considering a bigger house.
Yeah, like we all want a bigger house.
Sure.
That would be great. But realistically, I could just start us off. I think space danger is a real thing. To me, my collecting brain says if I'm putting it in storage, it's not that important to me because I'm the kind of collector who wants to display. Now that being said, sometimes you just run out of space in certain things. You have to make cuts. But I'm more likely, you guys know, I'm more likely to sell stuff that's not doing it for me anymore than just put it away. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. If it's getting put away, it's like, get it out of the house.
Mhm.
Jacob?
Yeah, same. But I think it's fun to kind of like rearrange things and figure out ways to make more space. I've been kind of going through that lately, and it can be frustrating, but it's also pretty satisfying when you move something around and you're like, oh shit, I got a whole other shelf space right here. But like maybe getting rid of older collections or condensing, or maybe just doing your displays in a different way that can allow for more. I don't know, that's what you do, that or just kill yourself.
This comment caught my eye. Jacob, from DC DeLorean. I would love to talk about space danger. We found a replica Christine yesterday. I need to find room.
Well, that's different.
You know what?
Different
I'll take one of your DeLoreans. I'll
get
take
rid of.
that.
Yeah, you got something
Yeah.
in there you can get rid of. Get that Christine.
Get that, Christine.
Mhm.
We'll
Get
take one of your
And
Wayne's
you be
World
careful.
cars. We'll take the not screen used Wayne's World
Hey,
car.
get
Ooh,
it. Just don't fall in love with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that tailpipe's looking nice.
Doesn't end well. Oh, that's not how it happens.
Anyways,
I've read the book.
anything else on this, or should we move on?
For me too, space danger. I'm with you, Craig. Or it's that thing where it's like it's out of sight, out of mind, and I'll just completely forget that I ever have it if I put it in storage. So I'll go to toy shows and stuff, and I'll sell like if it needs to be rotated out.
I forget. I pulled something out of my closet and sent a picture to Craig. It was that TIE fighter. And I was like, whoa, what is this? And Craig told me exactly when I bought it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
Right?
Craig's
Yeah.
like, oh, you bought this, 3 years ago or whatever. And I was like,
I've been getting rid of some of my pandemic purchase. I just sold my Blitzway Inspector Gadget figures. I was just like, why do I own these?
Dude, it
Oh, man, I
falls
would've
into the
bought those
category of
from you.
sick of looking at it.
They weren't great, Jay. They're not really. They're more like little statues than.
Oh,
action
then no,
figures,
never mind.
you know?
Change my mind.
Okay, here we go. Will Schmidt. What's the best way to display on-card figures without thumbtacking them to the wall? Well, don't do that.
This is hold on. This is a hard one because I used to be a don't open your toys kind of guy.
Yeah.
I have come to the conclusion that the only way of collecting carded figures is by not collecting carded figures, because especially if you're in a process of like running out of room, carded figures take up way too too much room, and the only way to display them and them look good is if you have like a store display, and even then it takes up so much room. So I ended up just opening everything and putting them on detofs or in a glass. That's the best way to do it, is to not be afraid to just open them.
Yeah, I've been there with my Batman Forever figures. It's like you can use corkboard or whatever and kind of like put them up, but it's a big, massive thing. It takes up so much space on the wall that I would go with what you're saying, Jacob. And it's like open up, enjoy that, let them hit the air and then put them on a shelf and a detop.
I had dreams of, because I prefer to open, but I also like card art and stuff. I had dreams of having like a retail wall and just have it be like a retail wall from Toys R Us circa whatever year, just have them all up and everything. But to your point, it's just like it takes up so much space. And I had stacks of carded figures, and I was just like, screw it. I just sold it because I was just like, it just didn't. It's not a great use of space when you want to display more than one toy line.
I also think, I think when you have a display of like a vintage line and like you've got like a couple on card, a lot that are loose and staggered, and then maybe some of the boxes from play sets, like a nice. That looks good as like a setup, but if it's just like 20 carded figures, it usually looks kind of crappy because it's so hard to display these figures. So I think we're all kind of in agreement here. It also depends on like some older lines with like smaller, like 3 3/4, like that stuff can be easier to display. One thing we've seen before is if you have like a spinning retail rack that you can kind of keep in the center of your room and like stack 5 or 6 figures, that's cool, but it's not my thing.
Yeah.
So so the answer is don't do it.
Yep.
All right, moving on. David Trevino, I'm going to my first toy show this weekend. Any tips on negotiating with sellers? And then there was a reply from Josh Balls. This is a great one. I'm awful and get super nervous.
Just get Craig to do it.
Yeah, honestly.
What's your move?
Yeah,
Craig?
what are Craig's tips?
Well, Jay, you sell at shows, so you'll have an interesting perspective too. My mindset is I feel like if you're selling toys at a toy show, bargaining and haggling and bundling is kind of an understood thing. So like if you're the kind of person, okay, I'm going to maybe call people out. I don't care. If you're set up at a toy show and you won't budge on any of your prices, you kind of suck. Like you're probably not selling very much unless like you just have the greatest shit in the world. Like my theory is there's no harm in asking, like, what's the worst that can happen? They say no. I understand it's nerve-wracking though. It can be.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, my advice would I always give like I'm very it's very easy to tell that when I'm interested in something, and I have a hard time showing that. So I would recommend maybe not getting as excited as I do. That's always my fatal flaw. I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. And then they hear it and want like $20 more. So just pretend like you hate everything and just a chore.
Jay, I want your perspective.
I guess
Jake, I know me and Jake kind of have the same thing, whereas if I see something I want, I don't have the willpower to walk away. If it's $100 and I was like, I'll give you 70, the guy's like, no, and then I'm like, okay, here's 100. Like I try, like it's like
yeah.
And then they tell you what the price is.
Missing out's too
you
great.
stand there and you're like thinking about it, but the only thing in my head is I just want this thing. Like, you know.
Listen, look at this shit. Jakey is the best toy seller in the world. Shut up, Jay. Nobody does that.
Jay, that's like
that is the sweetest thing.
You're a gift to humanity.
He says he proactively gives nervous people 10% off because he knows they wanted to ask for a discount.
I'll go lower too. Like if they're just kind of like if they're a little hesitant, and I'll just go lower. I was like, I'm asking 15, but I could do 12, or whatever.
Right.
And to me, like as a seller, as a collector that sells, my whole purpose is I don't have room for it anymore, or I bought XYZ Marvel Legends. I'm like, why did I buy these? This was a stupid idea. And then just just selling them and stuff like that. And then so I'm always, as a toy seller, good to negotiate, and knowing tons of people that toy sell professionally, they are always good to negotiate. But what you don't want to be is the person that's like, lowballing or just like, okay, I see you have 20 on here. Would you take 3? And then they're gonna be like, no, fuck you. But if it's like 20, maybe you could be like, would you take 15? Or if you bundle, then you have a lot more room to negotiate if you do the bundling. But never hesitate to ask a little bit lower, because in most cases they're trying to just get rid of shit. This is such a better revenue generator most times than eBay, because the fees on eBay are exorbitant. So even if they're a little bit less than eBay, even if they take off 10, 15, 20%, they're still probably making more money than if they sold it on eBay. So don't hesitate to negotiate.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Nice.
Secret Galaxy says it's harder for me to negotiate than it used to be. People
That's true.
know who I am. It sucks because I love
Dan
that.
Larson doesn't
Yeah.
want to pay full price.
But I would think, like, if I'm selling and
So
Dan
hard
Larson
for
walks
Dan.
up, I'm gonna want
Price
him
is going
to,
up a little bit.
No,
Getting
no,
the Dan Larson pros, right?
You want to give him a
Greg's like,
deal. Give
How
him a
many
deal.
subscribers you have? Come on, Dan.
Yeah.
You should pay full
I
price.
feel like, though, when we go to toy shows, I don't know. Sometimes you get sellers, though, who you can tell, like Jay, you were just saying. Sometimes you get sellers you can tell that they just want to sell the shit and don't care, and it's easier. But you go to Toylanta, half of the sellers look like if you ask them any questions, they're gonna yell at you. So it's like, I don't want to. Some people just look mean, so it's like, oh, okay, I don't want to ask them anything.
I would still ask, because like, even if they're doing like the full circuit, they have to know. But there are those toy sellers that are basically there to have a toy museum as opposed to selling toys. And
Yes.
Right, they don't want to
Mobile
sell.
museum.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's the
Ugh.
worst thing ever.
I'm getting so annoyed.
and you know, then
thinking
you just
about
walk away. It sucks, but it's just like, if you're not gonna even
it. Right.
negotiate, then
What I hate are people who, these are my 2 pet peeves for toy sellers at toy shows. One, the people who look at what shirt you're wearing and
I
start
knew you were gonna bring this up.
fucking yelling at you. Hey, I got a Chewbacca over here. You would go great with your shirt. Guess what? I didn't wake up this morning and go, I'd really like a toy to go with my shirt. Like, that's not a thing. That didn't happen. Like, man, if I only had a Chewbacca, that would go really great with this t-shirt I'm wearing.
Yeah.
And then,
Craig, I know what your second one is.
well, my second one,
Let's see. I
have a bunch, but another one that comes to mind is the people who, like, I'm looking at Last 17 A-Wing fighter. Like, I know this is probably like 180 to 250, and they're like, that's 400. That's rare. You ain't gonna find that. Yes, I am. I'm fucking holding it. My next door has 2 of them.
He's inflating because he's noticing your interest, and I know that's
I hate that. Oh, that's rare.
That's rare.
I can't budge on that one. I'm like, okay,
that one.
fine.
You've never seen another one like it.
I thought you were gonna say the sellers who, like, sometimes you'll experience a seller and you're like, hey, I'll give you this for it, and they do this thing. They go, and then they check eBay and they're like, let me check, and it's like they're looking the prices up on eBay, and it's like, that means you don't know what you're doing.
Right. They're not looking at sold listings either.
Yeah.
No, they're looking at what's well, there's one right here for $600. I'm like,
$600. I was like, dude, that's been listed for like 7 years. No one has bought it.
No one's buying a mint on card Alan Grant for $600.
No. There was, sorry to interrupt. There was one particular dealer that was at Toylanta that I really liked. She had lots of bins that were just like $1 and $5 bins. And there was like really quality items in there. I remember showing them off on the show. But instead of being like piecemealing them out and trying to act like there's like, oh, well, there's a lot of interest in that Superman knockoff Sky Dancer or whatever. It was like, no, this is probably like $15. Like, this, just get it.
Right.
And she's trying to sell as much as possible.
Oh, that's the other thing. They're like, well, there wasn't any on eBay, so it's probably rare. No, that's not true.
No.
Right.
I
all right.
found a Goldine auction from 7 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, God. All right, Charles Fincher, what is a figure you want that's never been made and probably never will be? I want a 6-inch Major Payne figure with a display base with sound buttons that quotes lines from the movie.
Major Payne.
I would like What About Bob figures.
Sure. I want What About Bob figures too. I mean, I've always wanted Ghostbusters figures from the jail scene. I just like what they're wearing. I like their pedestrian wear.
You like their casual.
They're civvies.
I like their
Ray's
casual
still
wear.
in, Ray's still in a
Yep,
jumpsuit.
Ray's still. We actually got that figure from Diamond Select.
We
But
did.
this is kind of a tough one. I mean, there's so many it's like I think of some of my favorite movies. There's no action figure representation. I would love some. So
Yeah, it's a hard question.
I've got one that's always number one on my list, and there's been third party people that have done this, but there hasn't been a proper. Even if Hot Toys did, I'd be really excited. But Johnny 5 from Short Circuit, either Short Circuit 1 or 2. I want a god dang Johnny 5 action figure.
That'd be cool.
I've always wanted one since Short Circuit 2, when they had the little remote control ones that were part of whatever. I really wanted a Johnny 5, like a proper Johnny 5.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Some people in the chat are saying, what's it called? Spaceballs. I kept almost saying Space Wars. Space Wars. Well, Jake, you want a Daniel Plainview hot toy, don't you?
Yeah, of course I do. I want Shining figures. It's crazy to me that nobody's made any Shining figures. I really want NECA to finish their Jaws line. NECA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stuff like that.
Finish it.
I would
finish the Jaws line. I want a Leprechaun figure, but I feel like we'll get that one day. Like that's why this is a hard question, because the question is stuff we might never get.
Right.
NECA's going to make a Leprechaun at some point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They have to. Yeah.
I would like NECA to finish off the Death Proof line with like all the other characters, because they did the Stuntman Mike, and it would be cool to see.
They did?
I think so.
How long ago did they do that?
I'm seeing it on the internet.
Are you making stuff up?
No,
I mean,
I'm
it
not.
sounds good. Like, I didn't know. Abby's getting deep into like. Abby's like, well, McFarlane made a movie Maniacs Stuntman Mike. I was like, yeah, they did.
No, the first thing that jumped into my head was I'd love to have the vehicle, and I'd love to have the girls from the movie, and I think that would be really badass.
Vehicle's a HasLab.
Okay. Well, Abby's just catching up.
Okay. Let's move on. Ron Sortino. Do you guys think Filmation Ghostbusters could ever be picked up by somebody like Super 7? I have the vintage figures, just missing the vehicle and playset. I'm not. I would love to have a team for openers. I believe that was McFly Toys, who's our leader in the clubhouse on Super Chats. So thank you. Jay, any way anyone's
as a
gonna
fellow complete Filmation Ghostbusters club member?
Yes.
Oh yes.
I dined on expensive soup in the Ghost Command last night. Expensive soup.
Dined on.
What's an expensive soup?
What?
The finest of expensive soups.
I don't.
Campbell's, Progresso,
What the fuck is an expensive soup?
lobster soups.
Soup is generally
Those soups.
I was about to say soup by nature is kind of
It's like
cheap.
add water to make more of
It's
less.
water and potatoes.
Yeah. Maybe like a lobster bisque.
Yeah,
like
like
lobster bisque.
We went
Okay,
to
lobster
fucking,
bisque. Oh shit! I just saw Thunderhouse said that. Yeah.
we went to Martha's Vineyard and we had expensive soups.
Was it
Yeah.
expensive?
Clam chowder.
For
I think you
soup.
pronounce it clam chowder. There.
I believe it was like $7-8 a
Eat some
cup.
Expensive soups.
Hey, this was nice. Somebody said something nice. Wesley says, y'all are so fun. I seriously wish I was part of your group. You know what, Wesley?
You are.
You are. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You're a
Wait,
Wesley's
what?
a part. He's
Hey,
part of the
fucking
group.
heel turn, Craig.
Yeah, I'm a heel now. Well, I don't
It's like
know.
Dole's not here. You got to take up the gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dole be like, let's be Dole. No,
No, you're here. You're part of the group.
no,
Thank
you guys are all part of the group. We appreciate you being here, and the support is awesome. Yeah.
Oh yeah, there she is up there.
Yeah, there she is.
There she is right there. I don't think they ever will. I don't
No,
know the man.
Too
Like,
obscure.
it's-
Too
It's
obscure.
too niche. Like it's super niche.
I feel so bad, Wesley. I was kidding. You're part of the group.
Yeah.
I will give you. I'll
Absolutely.
send you $100 right now. Feel bad.
Wesley has been sniped.
Sometimes I joke and then I feel bad because, like, I don't. You know.
Don't go giving away money though.
Okay, no money. You're not Wesley. No money. But
Maybe you can send him a picture of the things he doesn't have. So then it's like,
Send him a picture of $100.
yeah.
Yeah,
Odin
you
says,
can do that.
"I'm from near Martha's Vineyard. Can confirm no trouble in getting expensive meals." Dude,
Yeah.
what is
Dude, can
near
we-
Martha's Vineyard?
Can we
The
crack
ocean.
the rest of Massachusetts?
Connecticut? Yeah,
Yeah.
or Mass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woods
No,
Hole,
okay.
Massachusetts.
Hey, in all
Beach.
seriousness,
I want to go back.
I want to say this real quick.
Mhm.
They almost left me in Martha's Vineyard, but that's not what I was gonna say.
Oh,
Wait, who almost left you?
You and my
Jake,
wife.
you
Oh,
and
we
me.
did.
were driving
We
onto the
did.
ship without me.
It was
I
Abby.
did.
Abby was driving.
I was
Abby was
being
having
yelled
a
at.
freak out moment. She was being yelled
was
at
Craig
by a
like
really
running like,
lady.
wait for me?
I
I
was
wanted
getting
to
a-
get a sandwich or
I was
pizza.
getting a slice, my last slice of Martha's Vineyard
We
pizza.
were leaving.
Yeah, but
we
you-
were
yeah.
in line to drive onto the ferry to leave the island, and Craig says, "I'm gonna walk away," and just gets out
It's
of
a
the
good
car,
time.
walks away, and then the line starts moving, and the lady starts yelling at us. So Abby's like jumping into the driver's seat to drive us onto the ferry, and I'm like, "Well, I
She
guess
looked-
Craig."
I was
But
on the
I'm
beach
I guess
doing my
Craig lives
thing.
in Martha's Vineyard now.
I'm about 50 years
I think
away.
he'll find a way.
Hold on, bullshit. I'm like 50 yards out. I'm like doing, when you're got to get somewhere quicker and you do that pretend jog, but you're not
Yes.
actually moving
Yeah.
any faster.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm doing that. I didn't get my pizza. And then I'm like, oh, she's really getting on the fucking ship. And I start going faster. She turns and makes eye contact with me. And I go, what are you doing? And she goes, I don't know. She kept driving.
We couldn't just not move because there
It's
were
the
other
30
vehicles.
figure
It's
telling you to
like
drive.
our
The
car was in the
40
way.
figure.
So
Okay. I don't think.
Cloverfield was blocking the entrance to
Oh,
to the
my God.
ferry.
Here's the thing. Filmation Ghostbusters, it's too niche. It would be great. I think Super 7 would kill it, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I just don't know if there's like what's the demand there. Like I know there's fans. I just don't know if there's enough.
Did somebody say something funny?
I was,
Another
I'm
pun.
laughing. Yeah, I was laughing at that.
Martha's Vineyard style. It's got like
Yeah,
a
it's
sweater
famous.
tied
Yeah,
around
it
the
comes
neck.
with a little time.
New England pizza is good. It's just
Yeah.
the whole
No,
thing.
Connecticut's
It's close
so-
enough. It's close enough to New York. Yeah. Hey, the best pizza voted best pizza place in the world was in Connecticut. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of
You're close, but
close.
it's okay.
Connecticut people are kind of snobby. They snooty. They kind of feel like they have the best pizza. Like
Yeah.
Connecticut
Yeah.
people. I'm just like,
Yeah.
do you?
Well-
Hey,
I
I'm
had a
from
really good
Connecticut.
pizza there.
Do you think you have better pizza than New York?
No, but I also don't eat it that often. But
Uh,
it's all pizza. That's the thing.
Sure.
It's like when I remember when I was I ate at that whatever the name of the place is in Connecticut that's like voted best
Yeah,
pizza.
like the famous.
I
one.
ate there and I was like, yeah, it's good, but it's pizza. It's the
Right.
same it tastes good everywhere. So yeah, I don't know.
pizza can be bad and it can be good and it can be great.
Yeah.
It's always good.
It's most of the time it's good.
Yeah, it's
It
not
depends.
what I'm trying to say is it's not hard to make good pizza. It's just like whatever.
Chuck E. Cheese doesn't get
It
it,
was
right.
Pepe's. Cartman, it was Pepe's. Pepe had the good pizza.
Pepe had a good pizza.
Okay.
Hey, asking for a friend. Can you get Chuck E. Cheese on
Martha's Vineyard?
DoorDash?
Yeah,
Just kidding.
they use a sub like a fake brand. Just
Yeah, it's like Charles Pizza House.
Mhm.
Somebody at work the other day was like, "Hey man, this is swear to God, this is true." He's like, no context. He goes, how many beers can you have at Chuck E. Cheese? And I was like, as a 40-year-old man with no children who doesn't really drink, I don't have the answer to that question. He's like, I got to go to a birthday party this weekend. I'm hoping there's no cutoff.
The thing is I went to a party there, and I hadn't been to Chuck E. Cheese since the 80s, and it is not a great experience. And they have the beer tap, and it's only Bud Light. But
Yeah.
they kicked the keg, and there was no beer for the party, and there was just miserable parents just standing there.
Just standing there
Cheese,
watching
Chuck E.
the
Cheese.
animatronic concert. Hey, by the way, guys, there's a lot of people watching, so we would really appreciate if you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and tell your friends how much fun you're having.
Yeah.
But especially the
agree.
first two parts.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. In an alternate reality, there is no nerdom or geekdom. What would the host of Toy Anxiety have anxiety or be passionate about? For example, this is from David Cabal. Maybe Craig is super into sports, Jacob with art, Abby with writing, and Ryan is networking or making social media platform. I don't know. Just throwing this out. He's writing fan fiction of our lives. Like we're on
Keep it going.
season
Yeah.
6 of
Whatever you
Lost.
I
It's
love
our-
this.
Our sideways universe.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Flash
Um,
sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. This is a tough one.
What was the opening of the question? Would you
if
reframe?
if you didn't spend majority of your time in this hobby, toys collecting fandom, like what would? I mean, I don't know. It's such
I
a
collect like 50 other things. So
Right,
like,
right.
and I do, you know, art, and I read a lot, and I collect books, and I collect VHS. So I don't know.
Yeah.
One of 50 other things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, there was a time in my life, and I still play golf, but I mean, my early to mid 20s, like I didn't really collect toys. I was playing golf like 3 or 4 times a week. That was what I spent all my money on.
Yeah.
And then I realized I wasn't getting any better, and I was just literally wasting all my money. So
Yeah.
I plateaued, much like pizza.
But you still play a good bit of golf, right?
I do, just not nearly as much as I my
gotta
problem
play
is
sometime.
I don't have anybody in my core friends group, which is essentially the people sitting here with me tonight. Nobody else plays, and it's really not fun to go play by yourself, or you end up
Right.
with strangers and stuff. I mean, my brother plays, but he doesn't live very
Mhm.
close, so probably golf.
Yeah.
Next time you're in Raleigh, we should all do Top Golf or whatever. That's fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Definitely.
We've talked about doing that, and we never get out for it. But
I take golf very seriously. I don't want to go to that gamified Top Golf. No, I would love to. It looks so much fun. I just
Yeah.
Abby, how about you?
I think I love working with animals. I think I'd love to do like animal rehab, especially wildlife. I like got the big there's like a big book you have to read in order to like get certified, and I got that over quarantine and just read through it. And it's definitely something I'd love to do. It doesn't pay well or at all, really. So I'm not doing it, but it would be really cool to help out like possums and raccoons and birds and stuff.
I'd love to help a bird.
Yeah.
You've saved some baby birds. Hey, Brian Briggs says, if I wasn't collecting toys, I'd be retired. What do retired people do? They play golf.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, let's keep going here. Fun questions, by the way. You guys really did a lot here. Okay, so this is Ryan Jackson. Best advice on where and how to sell toys you no longer want or need. Terrible at letting go, but also it's a pain in the ass to sell and ship. Shipping is a pain. But if you want top dollar or close to top dollar, eBay, Facebook groups, it's kind of hard. If you sell to a toy shop, you're not gonna
get 40%
40% of the value if you're lucky. I can give a piece of advice to anybody who's shipping. Get a thermal printer and sign up for pirateship.com. It's free and it's a discounted shipping service. And even if you don't have the thermal printer, you could just print out your label and tape it to the box. The amount of time you save not having to deal with being at the post office, and you save money too.
it's cheap. Yeah, it's way cheaper. Pirate Ship is amazing.
Yeah, it's made. You know, there'll be times where I'm selling a bunch of stuff. It makes it so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think, if you really don't want to deal with shit, and I don't really either, so that's why I sit up at toy shows or post things on Facebook Marketplace, but that's a longer play, so you're not going to get your money right away. I think you just have to be okay with that. But to Craig's point, like if you want top dollar, if you want to move stuff quickly and get it out of your house or whatever, then you kind of have to bite the shipping bullet and pirate ship or whatever. I know John, I think you converted John to that. Like he's a big fan of that now. Cool. And yeah, there are ways to do it. No matter what, there's pluses and minuses. If you don't want to ship, then you just have to do toy shows. Be cool if it's sitting in Facebook Marketplace, join local toy groups, toy selling groups, and list there. But it's going to take longer. Or if you want to sell quick, you're going to have to bite the shipping bullet.
Jacob,
Facebook scares me because there's so many unreliable people. And I know there's like unreliable people on eBay too, but eBay has like at least precautions, to try to protect.
If you're,
Facebook,
to me, it's like
it has a lot of scams.
It's a more secure Craigslist. So I usually only like cash. We're gonna meet in person and we're gonna do this swap.
Sure, if you're gonna do it, like that for sure. But like,
to your point, like, there are a lot of scams.
Yeah, people are just flaky, is the thing.
But I do like. Is Craigslist still a thing? I do like it better than Craigslist just because Like I can go look at a profile. I'm like, this person looks like a real person.
This looks like a legit human being.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get catfished or whatever.
Right.
Hey, you know, like Jacob, I feel like over the last couple of years, you've gotten better with the concept. Like you don't mind selling as much as you used to.
I used to
Like,
really hate it. It used to give me like anxiety and stress to think about selling any of my toys. And I would have like many, I don't want to say a panic attack, but I would see you selling something and I would get anxiety over it. And I would be like, why is he doing that? I would call you up and be like, well, I see you're selling something, like as if it was a bad thing.
I sold a couple things in group therapy. Jake's like, hey man, is everything okay? I'm like, yes.
It just used to, the concept of selling your, I don't know. It just, I couldn't wrap my head around it. But then I got to a point where when I started kind of upgrading the look of this room and I realized how much stuff I had was just like junky type stuff and not collectibles or things that I cared about or brought me any joy. It's like, oh, selling is fine, especially because I get paid for it. So
I don't know if anybody's ever actually said that, but we got to make that
toy
a toy anxiety attack.
Yeah.
But
I sell shit all the time. And it also using pirate ship and like for my job where I work, we have the mailman and UPS stops in our shop every single day. So I don't even have to go to UPS. Like I just go to work and I bring my packages to work with me and set them up in the front and UPS just grabs them every single day. So it's not even a issue.
That's awesome. I've got pretty severe ADD. She knows. It goes to my collecting habits. Yeah. There will be times where I will just like wake up one morning and be like, I just don't like this stuff anymore. I'm ready to sell it and move on. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Okay.
Same.
Let's go to the Discord because we got some questions in there too. And then maybe we'll do a couple in there and then we'll take some from the chat here. Skylar Davis says, what is a dream figure line you wish a company would make? So we kind of had questions like this, but
Filmation's Ghostbusters. No.
Oh yeah, Super 7 Filmation Ghostbusters. Abby, do you have a thought?
I would go with, and I know there's been versions of Bob's Burgers characters like Bendham's and stuff, but like real articulated figures with like the building, like the restaurant and the neighboring restaurants, like crematorium, etc.
Like if they did the old like the Playmates World of Springfield figures, like in Bob's Burgers stuff.
Yeah, because that's the show that like from season 1 I was like really tied on to and still watch every episode. That would be very cool to see.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good one.
Jay?
Yeah, I got nothing. I'm trying to look around like, oh, what do I want?
I mean, a dream line, something that I know is probably not really going to happen. It'd be cool to just have there's two of them, two that are very specific and will never happen. I want just a Stephen King line. So it's like figures from different Stephen King movies or books. I also want a Universal Studios line where there's like specifically like Jaws ride stuff, King Kong ride, Ghostbusters Spooktacular, like vintagey looking. I want figures of Botanicus and all of ET's other, home world.
Build a theme park.
Shrek 4D.
Yeah.
The Jimmy Fallon ride.
All the good. I completely agree with that. I think NECA probably could. They've got horror.
They probably could because I mean they've already. I mean they've done King Kong, ET, Back to the Future. Some of those lines. I don't know. They could do some Beetlejuice stuff, Ghostbuster stuff. Like there's a lot of. If you think about vintage Universal Studios, there's a lot that could be done.
So two things come to mind for me. One we've talked about a gazillion times, which would be a proper
real Ghostbusters?
Proper real Ghostbusters line based on the animated series by Super 7 or preferably NECA would be amazing. You know what I think would be really cool? If the Marvel Legends team were if Hasbro got the DC license and started a proper DC Legends line from the start. I think that'd be really fun, like to be like all in from the beginning on a
Mhm.
Like a
long-
Marvel Legends version of
DC. Yeah.
that'd be
And
cool.
last time Ryan Ting was on, we were gonna ask him if he was, fantasy booking wave 1 of DC Legends, what would it be? He might not even answer because then, God, who knows?
Yeah,
Toy
probably.
Farce would have another article up. Marvel Legends team hoping to steal DC from
tabloid outlet.
confirmed. But yeah, I think that would be really cool. But yeah, I mean, God, my whole thing is any movie or show I like, I would consider getting toys from. So like,
Yeah.
Saved by the Bell, Lost. I don't know. The McFarlane
Lost toys were not good.
Those aren't good.
Yeah, those
so-
like
Lost toys are
rough.
I
We've talked
own all
about
those
it.
and they suck. Those toys are so bad.
Shannon laying down.
Oh, so bad.
That's all you have to say. Fucking not even standing.
Okay, so Justin 2185, are there any holy grails you're currently looking for? It's probably a good question because it's been a while. We all kind of knocked
Thank
Jay.
you. Thank you.
In
Hurley.
the box.
The Hurley's
Whoa.
not bad. The
That's a
Hurley's
good
not
figure.
bad.
Yeah.
That'd be good to get signed. That'd be a nice little display.
But
piece.
the laying down Shannon's on the back here. There you go.
The
Yes.
hatch is kind of cool,
Oh,
but it's
with
more
real
I
laying
wouldn't call
down
that a
action.
figure.
Right.
Yeah, it's like a diorama. The hatch
Who
is
is it?
cool. I think Hurley's
Is
good.
it-
Jack's pretty good.
Is it Sun who's holding like the Sun is like holding a towel or something like this? And
Yes,
it's
it
like,
was from, like,
it's like such a weird figure.
Yeah.
Charlie came with his ring. You got the drive shaft ring, which is pretty cool.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Tight. Yeah.
You
That
are
positioning,
my
that
body.
hoodie. Yeah.
Do we believe John Locke really knew who fucking Drive Shaft was?
Yeah, I think so. That was a good.
What's a good comp? Who is Drive Shaft in modern music?
I think they were like the Oasis or whatever. Like that's how I always assumed like what their
Okay.
equivalent was.
Okay.
Two
saw-
British brothers.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. I saw there was an article today that Imagine Dragons was playing outside of the Netflix offices as in support of all the writers, and I was like, wait a minute, are we sure Netflix didn't hire Imagine Dragons to drive the protesters away? I'd be like, we want fair wages. We want. Well, oh, is that Imagine Dragons? I'm out. Let me know when this
I
I
strike's
didn't know
over.
they were gonna be here.
Gross.
Mhm.
Sorry to all the ID fans in the chat.
Are there any? But sure.
I'm waking up. I hate that. Anyways, Jay, you looking for any
How
holy
did we
grails?
get here? Yeah.
What?
Are you looking for any holy grails?
What for toys?
Well, that was the question. We got way off.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. Any grails that are on your bucket list right now?
No, I can't. I mean, my last vintage Star Wars figure I need is Yak Face. But
Okay.
since it's the last one, I want it to be an experience. I want it to be like a thing that's like a good story to close this thing out. I just don't want it to be I go on eBay and buy one. or
Right.
something. I want it to be. It has to be a moment. So I'm just waiting for that moment
Okay.
for Yak Face to enter and complete my vintage Star Wars collection, a collection that I started over 30 years ago.
If Ryan was here, he'd be like, just come to Canada. We got 20 of them.
Dude, just do it.
Fucking do it. Jake, any holy grail?
Probably, but like off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I feel like we did a big list for YHS a while back, and the one that was one of the big ones was Cloverfield, which I was able to pick up. But that and the Ewok treehouse over here, but I don't know. I'd have to go through probably some Safubi stuff, but off the top of my head, no.
Hey, speaking
Which
of
is good because
Safubi,
I don't need to.
we have a question from Jay Key, co-host of YHS on Monster Island.
Okay.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Tokyo Toy Town.
With a heavily volatile commodities market and massive declines in the production of critical components of polyvinyl chloride coupled with a sluggish ethylene market, is there a legitimate fear of boutique designer toy companies not being able to amortize those increased costs due to the limited size production runs, leaving us all with a toy landscape that's more akin to soulless vacuum devoid of creativity, run of faceless corporation overlords than a thriving marketplace showcasing the physical iterations of our imagination.
Wow.
Wow.
Jay, I don't know what any of that means.
I mean,
No.
plastic. He's talking about if plastic goes away.
No,
what
they'll
I-
make it out of. They'll make it out of
Hasbro will
something
bring it back. They always do.
Yeah. Oops, all plastic.
Oops, all plastic.
Although I loved that question. It was
Yeah, it was great.
It's like
I
reading
just-
a sci-fi novel.
Yeah.
Jay, I'm
writes
worried.
them, he's
I'm worried
smart.
about what you said.
There's too many big words in there for Craig. And
Yeah.
now he's scared. Now
It's
he's
about-
scared. The toys
Jay
might go
doesn't
away.
know. Oh my
He's
god.
looking
Toys
up
will
the
never
words
go
right
away.
now.
I think we're gonna be good.
Yeah.
From
there's
Johnny
here to
Coke?
stay.
Thank you for the super chat. We'll get you updated on the board. Are there any toy lines you would like to see done like a different toy line, i.e., TMNT done like 80s 3.75 GI Joes? It's interesting you bring that up because Jay, did you guys cover this?
Oh, what the Motu thing?
Yeah, it seems like there's going to be there's rumors of a Ninja Turtles Masters of the Universe line coming.
Yeah, like a crossover thing. I just, we talked about it in After Dark this past week. I think we're both concerned that it's not the TMNT Origins line that we want, which is like retro style. Like what Origins was for Motu, we want that for TMNT. And it'd be maybe he's more of a here's Leonardo as He-Man crossover thing.
like they did with the WWE.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the concern because we all want Origin style TMNT figures,
Right.
but this may not be that based on
Yeah.
other things. They did with Power Rangers where they just were.
Like a Tila April mix up or something.
Yeah,
I could
something
see that.
matched up.
Mhm.
I don't think this question is asking about mashups specifically. I think they're asking like, if you could get a Ghostbusters toy line, but it is in the style of vintage Star Wars. Yeah,
Right.
which that's what I want. So.
Right. Well, head over to TCU Toys because that's what Tom Henry,
That's
who's
what's
going to be joining
happening.
us on Ghostbusters Radio Live this week.
Oh,
We're
that's
going to talk about
exciting.
it.
They look awesome.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Yeah.
This is kind of a tough one. I mean,
Well, can I call something out real quick? I
Yeah.
think Thunderhouse is right. $5.50 Canadian isn't more than $5 US.
Ooh.
Sorry. Well,
Wow.
it was a bigger
Oops.
number. Listen, I'm not here to do currency.
It's already
conversion.
done.
You don't do numbers. Yeah.
By the
It's
way,
already
we need
done.
StreamYard to automate this fucking process.
Yeah, how StreamYard not do this? Can we add this? Like, give them feedback because I think this is brilliant, Craig. I just don't have I don't think people appreciate how much work you put into that because I couldn't pull that off.
I'm literally having to do Photoshops while we work. Or whatever this is. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think anything that scales with real Ghostbusters would be cool. There you go.
Mhm.
Highly articulated. If you could have a toy tube beef with any channel, who would it be? Oh, that's a troll.
Oh,
Trick question. All of them.
I could beef with Geek Dad Life. Yeah.
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 I could
Beef
you.
Dad Life.
Ooh, beef dad life.
Let's go back to the Discord. John Roop, when are you writing your book on the entire RGB line? I don't know. I'm trying. I don't know if there's enough meat on the bone for a like Masters of the Universe style book for real Ghostbusters. But it would be really cool, and I would love to.
I'd love to see.
I'd love to buy it. Did you see they're putting out a book, Jay? Another hardcover book, Dark Horse. That's just the art of Origins and Masterverse.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. This is why I think it's a great thing. We all love the art that they're doing. There's a lot of great art in Origins and Masterverse. And now I can throw away all of these card backs that I'm just holding on to that just take up space.
They should do that with all vintage
Right?
toy lines.
Wouldn't that
Yeah.
be nice? Because then I don't have to carry on all this extra cardboard. I could recycle it. Or some people have said, like, hey, I called dibs on your Motu card back, so I missed out on something. Like, sure, I will mail you my toy trash and you can hold on to it instead of me having to hold on to this.
Yeah, I don't know. I love hardcover toy books. I think they're great. They're wonderful resources. It's a really great way to pay respect and love a toy line without having to buy it. Right? You could just
Yeah.
have the book. So let's go back to the Discord for one more, and we'll go back to Facebook.
Did you see we got a super chat first if you wanna
Oh, look at that! And I updated the board.
Look at
Update
that.
the board. I
There
did.
you
Thank you,
go.
Davey.
Nice.
Man.
Thank you. We
that.
appreciate that.
Yeah, I should put one in here because Davey gets ticked off when I take the lead. So I'm about to do that. So do it.
Jay, don't. You're our guest. Don't. Vicky Horner, what will happen when you literally run out of shelf space? Well,
So
we'll sell some stuff and start over.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll move.
Yeah.
Get a bigger house. Add a room on.
Mm-hmm.
Enclose the porch.
Shane.
Yeah.
yeah.
Go a little
Shane
house in the back,
asks-
yeah.
We'll try to go faster to get to more here. I hit this weird point a couple years ago when collecting stopped being fun for like a year, but it came back strong and I'm loving it. Has that ever happened to you guys? I'm glad it wasn't permanent. Abby?
I'm sorry. Will you just repeat real quick?
Yeah, Shane said that he hit a point where collecting wasn't fun anymore.
Mhm.
He took like a year off. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through different spots in my life, and I find that collecting actually keeps me like more healthy mentally and like being more active in the things that I love. So I understand. I've gone through some periods where it's like, oh, I just want him to stop this hobby for a little bit. But I always pick it back up, and it always like reinvigorates me. So I'd say, yeah, wait for that to pass and get back into it if you can.
There you go. Jay, have you ever taken a break?
Yeah, a lot. You know, I think I take like mini breaks sometimes or extended breaks. And yeah, so I think taking that chance to reset is a really good thing. And it's how you stay fresh because burnout's a real thing. And I think yeah, taking breaks is a healthy thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, I go through these modes where, and I talked about earlier, I get burnt out on buying modern toys and trying to be a completist on all these lines. And like, you go to Target and you're like, oh, cool. There's 6 new G.I. Joe classified figures on it. Oh, it's going to be like $200. I don't well, do I really want to do that? Is there a vintage toy I probably could put that money for or towards and have a better time with it? And then the answer is usually yes.
But then you go and you find a freaking Batmobile, an 89 Batmobile with like a little.
Oh, is that the?
Then you're back in, yeah.
Then you're right back in.
Yes, the Spin Master one. I'm just like, this is fun as hell. So like, you go, you'll feel it. You'll feel the energy one way or another.
There you go. Okay, let's keep chugging along here. We'll try to get to as many as we can. Tonight's show will
Oh,
probably
you got a new super chat here. Do you want to plus that in? I mean, it seemed like a pretty good super chat.
better update the board, Craig, which I did.
Take that, Davey.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. We've got some
appreciate
travel coming up, so we'll need it. We'll need it. Yeah, we've been.
Thank you.
Just when you thought we were going to New England,
We're going to Old England.
We're going to the Old England.
The original. The original.
The original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because why?
Yeah.
Vintage is better than modern. I like referring to New England as modern.
I love London. Have y'all done London before? It's a great.
No.
Oh, dude,
First
I'll
time.
go first.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't
I
wait.
love it.
We'll need some tips and tricks on where all the expensive soups are.
I will say, food sucks. No offense to my UK friends, but the food sucks.
Yeah.
If you go to Europe, you're gonna get great food. It's terrible.
Well,
Okay.
all I need
Wow.
is fish and chips.
Yeah, Foster.
And the fish and chips, a lot of them aren't that great. I'm just saying, just be prepared. Food's not that good.
Holy shit.
Hey, I thought.
I had some good stuff at Epcot.
Yeah, Epcot's probably better. I'm telling you.
Oh my God, Davey!
Davey,
May all your detox collapse, Jay.
God.
Dude, I'm just gonna. Hey, I'm gonna go back into my program. I just hit Command Z a couple times, and we're back, baby.
Yes,
Thank you. We appreciate
that was
it.
cool. Yeah, thank
That
you.
was
David.
pretty damn
Very
cool.
cool.
Okay, I'm gonna update the board, but we got a question here. Jake, we'll start with you on this one. From Stephen Lawrence. I know Abby loves bootleg knockoff toys, but what is your stance on unlicensed third-party figures, specifically 1/6 scale or Hot Toys style? Many companies are forgoing the red tape associated with securing the likeness rights and releasing beautifully sculpted figures. Companies like Mars Toys, So Toys, and Present Toys. Jacob, any thoughts on unlicensed Hot Toys style 1/12 or 1/6 scale figures?
Yeah, I mean, show me some good ones. That's the thing, is like sometimes you see them and they're a little weird. I haven't seen any that I loved so much that I wanted to pick up. I did pick up, one of those Lord of the Rings 1/6 figures, but those aren't. I don't think those are bootleg or unlicensed.
No, they're licensed.
They're just not Hot Toys. But I've seen out in the wild, like there's a couple of those companies that have done like Jack Torrance figures, but I feel like every time I see it, I'm like, that doesn't look great. So I don't have an issue with bootlegs or anything like that, but they gotta come with the heat. You know what I mean? It's got to be good, or I'm just gonna wait for Hot Toys to do it.
Right. Jay, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't mind it so much. Like, it's one of those things, if they're filling in a gap that officially licensed people aren't doing for whatever XYZ reason, I don't mind it as much. But I'm with you as well, like Jake. Like, if it's kind of still looks like crap, I'm not gonna get it. And there's even times like Blitzway, they had the fully licensed Ghostbuster things.
They weren't great.
And they're okay, but it's like I'd much rather have a Hot Toy one if they ever get it. Like I have the Blitzway Pete Venkman. He looks fine, but I still wait for the day that Hot Toys will do it.
It's like he looks like he could be one of the Murray brothers. Hey, forget 1/12. Will somebody make a or 1/6? Someone needs to make a Crispin Glover Back to the Future NECA style figure. So we could have that's what the world needs. We don't need another Joker. We need
Crispin Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Crispin Glover.
I feel like he should do it because he like does real movies to fund his like personal projects. Like just NECA needs to come and like, hey, we'll give you this much money so you can make some weird movie.
He's gonna be like, well, I told them I would do it, but only if I could have my entire cast of my latest movie also be in action figure form.
I think his thing is that. Well, I think his thing is that he will do Back to the Future stuff, but as long as Bob Gale is not also benefiting from it. It's just Bob Gale. Like him and Zemeckis, like they made amends, and Zemeckis put him in a movie, and he's fine with everybody else. It's just Bob Gale, and I've seen interviews where he's like, "I'll do it." Unless they also got Bob Gale doing it, then he could fuck himself. So
those interviews are fun to watch on YouTube.
I would love a George and Lorraine 2-pack. I mean, listen, I think the NECA Back to the Future line is incredible, but it's only 3 actors done multiple different ways. Like we need Lorraine.
You need a DeLorean. Like
we need a DeLorean
time machine to tie that all together. Because right now it's just a bunch of people, and I want a freaking thing.
The problem, and this is kind of a tangent, but the DeLorean is central. Like you can't really have a toy line without the DeLorean. I wanted these types of Back to the Future figures, but literally, there's probably early episodes of YHS where somebody would ask, "Ooh, look at that! Mine will be here in a couple months." Where people would ask, "What's your dream toy line?" I would always say Back to the Future, and now we have it, and it's like. It's just missing so much.
You need a DeLorean. You need, I don't know. There's a lot you need to do.
Hey, remember that
people?
The animated DeLorean they showed at Toy Fair that never came out?
Yeah.
The train, the
Chief Brody got in.
It'd be cool.
Chief Brody flew it and got the fuck out of here.
Some guy came up and was like, "Hey, Chief, I heard you don't like going to the water." Like, I'm out of here. Okay. We'll do some more. We're probably going to keep tonight's episode right around an hour, guys. So let's go ahead and go to the chat. If you guys have more questions, get them in there. Okay. All right. Here we go. This has been fun. Matthew Bush.
I think
get
we've
dark.
been doing this over an hour at this point, but
we're at an hour.
You're an hour 18.
Like
I meant an hour and a half. So we got 10 minutes left.
All right.
10 minutes left. This is great, by the way. We're having a lot of fun. I don't know how time works. Ewok Village confirmed.
That's why Craig loves Back to the Future so much, because it's so intriguing to him. He just doesn't get it.
Where are they going?
He loves
Why
time.
they get that car? Where do they go? When I was a kid, I would get really nervous when Doc and Marty are standing in the fire trails.
Yes.
I'd be like, oh, what are they?
'Cause
Oh,
the fire's like right on their leg because it's just kind of like
yeah.
they cut and pasted over it, you know?
Yeah.
Jesus. Flash. We haven't gotten to that question yet, but I'll get it. We'll get to that. Promise you. Matthew Bush, to get dark, if you were suddenly quote unquote gone, have you discussed with family and friends how to dispose of your collection without getting taken advantage of? No, the first step me and Abby need to have is passwords. I need to give you all the passwords.
All the passwords for everything.
You think you're going first?
I mean, probably.
Well, that's not what this question's about. The question's about how do we want to be commemorated, and I would like to be a hot toy personally, if that's possible.
No.
I don't think that
is
that's not the question at all, Abby.
Oh, I was like, I thought this was like what to do with your. Okay, never mind.
No,
No.
it's what is
What
gonna
happened?
happen to
What do
your
you want to do with
collection
your
when you die?
collection?
When you die?
Oh,
yeah.
not your personal. Got it.
No,
Okay.
not your ash.
not
Abby,
your
put,
remains.
put Abby's remains.
I
in a
thought
hot
about
toy.
that. I was like,
Okay.
put it in the base, put it in a hot toy. Why?
I mean,
why haven't we done that yet?
I don't want to get morbid, but I have a
Mhm.
feeling if I were to pass away, I have a feeling that Abby would keep the toy room as is for the.
Oh my
forever.
god, yeah! Don't make me upset. Yeah, that's what I'd do. I wouldn't touch it.
It'd become a museum to your honor.
Yes,
Mhm.
and I'd
Yeah.
be and I'd be commemorated as a hot toy.
No, we'd spring for a selfie series.
Yeah.
That's what kills me, guys. My selfie series is in. Anyways, yeah, we don't need to be morbid, but I think we've talked about this before.
I have, yeah.
When you're a collector, basically you're a burden on your next of kin.
Pretty much.
So-
Yeah, I'd give it to someone who wants it, a listener maybe.
Right?
What?
I don't know.
How
give
are
it
you
to
gonna
a
make that
listener.
happen?
I'll get it.
She
I'll
calls
ask my
Davey back.
lawyer.
Hey, you gave us a lot of super chats, Davey. So here's all of Craig's stuff.
Yeah, Davey
Here's
gets
all
all
my
my stuff.
bullshit.
Here's
Yeah.
all my calico
Um,
critters.
So John and I have a pact. If somebody dies prematurely, the other will go and like make sure everything's sold for what it's worth, and then give the money to whomever. So if I die prematurely, John will be here and he'll help Colleen sell all this shit and then give the
Right.
money to the
Jay, I have a
kids.
feeling if you die prematurely, John's gonna be making a post about his new store. Oh, we just got a lot of new inventory.
Hot off the presses.
We got a whole superpowers collection. We got a Hot Toys DeLorean. We got a Ghost Command. Expensive soups.
Expensive soups.
Okay, we're gonna rapid fire now. Flash asked somewhere earlier in one of these channels if any of us have insurance on our
For
collections.
our collections, yeah.
I did at one point. It expired and I didn't renew it, so I need to. But
Yeah, I don't.
And my answer is now no.
the answer is no.
We do. We're great.
Jay, what about you? You got insurance?
Yeah, insurance. Yeah. I probably need to do it again. It's been a while. I need to re-estimate what this is worth, but yeah.
This is a great one from Kelly Hudson. Jake, this is for you. What is the origin story of you guys whispering, "Do it"?
I don't know. I don't even remember.
I know, but I'm not gonna say.
Oh, then go for it. It's been so long. I don't know.
I don't think we can
Oh,
say
I
it.
don't
wait.
think it can be said.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
Okay. I think I kind of remember, and I
Was it about somebody doing something that we were just talking about?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we want to commit to saying that.
Okay.
I do not remember. I do not remember 100%,
If
but
it's
I
just gonna get
think
pulled
it was.
tomorrow and put back up later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no.
I think
yeah.
it-
Let's.
I think it was an off-air just joke where we were just fucking
Right.
around and we were like,
Abby,
it,
do you really
know,
remember?
about something?
Mhm.
It was about.
I have a good memory
something-
about jokes, specifically like in jokes.
Hey, type it in.
Yeah.
There's a.
It was about something
Here.
we don't want to say it on.
Where's the private chat? I just want to know
Oh
what it
my
is.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the. I
all
want
the
to see
way
this
to the
conversation. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, put it in the private chat.
Where's the private chat?
You just go to
Oh, I see it.
next to comments. You just click it next to.
That's
Okay,
all I. You can explain later.
Jake, do you remember?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, we'll move on. No, we're not typing in the chat. Come on, guys.
No way.
Some things are too extreme. Okay, moving on.
Super professional.
Brian Sigourney. What company would you want to have the Real Ghostbusters license for inexpensive collector line? Inexpensive?
NECA, yes.
NECA.
Yeah, NECA.
Loyal subjects. Just kidding.
Stop.
Is it cool if we do rapid fire, guys? Is that good?
Yeah.
So any of these, just shout them out. Stanley Eberhardt, would you consider doing YHS and Toy Anxiety quotable stickers for sale?
Yes.
Yes, we would consider that.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
Mhm.
Will we do it? I don't know, but we'll consider it. That would actually be fun.
Yeah,
because
maybe
we have a
that's
lot
a
of
good
quotes.
idea.
Do it with the Nike logo. Okay. JD Gibson, did you guys participate in the Mythic Legion's All-Star 6 vote? I did not.
No.
No.
Jay?
Craig, we got a super chat.
Nope.
Oh my God. Shinovo, $5. I'm not a veteran in collecting toys. Somewhat new being a 90s kid, but always loved toys. Do you guys ever get made fun of for collecting toys?
I don't get made fun
Only-
of, but it's
only
hard
from
to
each other.
explain.
Yeah, we give each other shit about like, oh, you collect, like it's all on fun. Anybody who willingly would make fun of you for collecting toys hates themselves and they don't deserve your time
Yeah.
of day.
I feel
I-
like I feel like if it ever comes up at work or if somebody's like, "Oh, you should see Jake stuff" or whatever, people are usually impressed by it. I've
Yeah.
never had anybody to my face make fun of me, but also I'm scary looking. So
I usually lead with like just making fun of myself, but usually we're like, no, that's so cool, that's amazing, or whatever. Even though inside, they're probably thinking inside is like, oh, what a nerd. But you know, I've
probably.
never in this era of nerd culture being at the forefront of
Right.
shit. Like I haven't had people make fun since like the 90s. So.
No, I think, and like he said, he's a 90s kid, so maybe he skews a little younger. I think you hit a certain age, at least with me, where you start thinking about your childhood toys, and you just like, if you have that collecting mindset, you want them back. But what Jay said, collecting, nerd culture, San Diego Comic-Con, what's the biggest movie in the world right now? It's Talking Raccoons, the movie. So, I mean, people know. I think collecting's great, and no one should ever be making fun
Yeah,
of
there's no
anybody.
shame.
Yeah.
Unless it's Funko Pops. That's just like,
The only shame I have now is just self-shame. Like, really, Jay? You really
Right.
bought this?
Yeah.
Ming Wen, what toy line do you think ended too early, and what would you fantasy book to continue that line?
Darkwing Duck.
I mean, no toy line should end if it's good. I don't know. I mean, real Ghostbusters.
Masters of the Universe Origins.
Canceled. Ooh, no, I'm not even gonna go there. Okay. One more from Discord from Jess _ nonetheless. We love Jess. Any anticipated toys from smaller companies or designers this year?
I'm waiting on a Gorgo figure from Jake. Who's making Gorgo? Titanic Creations or something. I'd never heard of them, but there's not a lot of Gorgo toys out there, and Gorgo is like a really fun kaiju film from the 60s that me and Jay will be discussing this week on YHS on Monster Island. But they're making a toy. They're making a toy of it, and it was kind of a crowdfunding thing, and all of the stretch goals have been met except one, and they're cool. And hey, the movie also takes place in London, which is why we're going to London, so we can hit the Gorgo filming locations.
Who you gonna call? Gorgo. Anything Tony Taylor does, I'm gonna be all for. Tony Taylor toys.
For me, Spiro Toys, Animal Warriors of the Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
I got one
Those are
figure.
cool
I'm looking to get more. Gonna pick up the PowerCon exclusive at PowerCon. It's a really cool, fun toy line.
Yeah, and for me, boutique stuff like this, which this is 009 Life Jam. The artist is Jackie Lamb. I'm a huge fan of this stuff. This is Boom Boom. And then yeah, just this kind of stuff. This is a different artist. I think it's somebody by the name of Shinichiro Chirocado. That's the artist. And this is awesome.
Starzork Warriors. That's
Yeah, you can find on Instagram.
Starzork Warriors, and also somebody mentioned Jada Toys. Definitely a up and coming company. They used to do mostly die cast, but they've got the really cool Street Fighter stuff. They're doing Mega Man figures. So really cool.
Are you all doing PowerCon? I'm going to PowerCon.
I would love to. I don't know if it's going to happen. It's mid-August.
Yeah, it's like 3 weeks after Comic-Con.
Where is it? Ohio?
It's Ohio. It's like 8 hour. It's like a 7.5 hour drive from Raleigh.
Yeah. Is there press passes? Is there press passes, free hotels, and money? That's what we would like.
If we can get any of the combination of those things,
Well,
I
if
think
you
maybe
guys,
we'll be
if you
there.
guys can get to Raleigh. I plan to drive, so if you guys can get to Raleigh, you just ride along with me.
Ooh, be like the
Ooh.
Muppet movie.
Yeah.
Moving right along when we're on to PowerCon. Hey, I think it's going to be hard to swing because we are now those kind of people who fly across the country, do Comic Con just like the Great Geek Dad likes, and it's going to kill us financially. But yeah, PowerCon's great. It feels like it's going to bounce back now that they've kind of figured out.
I think it's gonna be a good year. I think it's gonna be. I don't know. It's like I feel the good energy. I know a lot of people are going.
Oh,
this year.
yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna do like 5 more questions. Here we go. I just want to find good ones. They were all really great. Well, some of them weren't great. but- What do you think, AJ? What do you guys think the chances are of a vintage collection Dash Rendar Outrider of 2026 for the 30th anniversary of Shadows of the Empire? I feel like Shadows of the Empire doesn't get enough love, but I know there's a lot of fans out there. It's definitely not going to happen, but it would be really cool.
Why not though? Like I don't know.
I mean,
movement for Dash Rendar these days. I don't know.
I love Shadows of the Empire. Great N64 game. I got the 90s figures. I've got the soundtrack on vinyl. I don't know what's going on with Hasbro Star Wars. I can't figure out what they're doing half the time. So let's see how this next HasLab Ewok Village goes. And then we'll figure out what. I think any ship has a chance of being funded. If they do the Ghost and they sell 40,000 of them, then yeah.
I think Ghost happens for sure. And I'm ready and excited for the Ghost because I've been rewatching Rebels and I'm like, I'm in if it's a Ghost for sure.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Even
Couple more.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Wesley, my wife wants you to do eBay hangs. Okay. We've talked about trying to bring those back in some form or fashion. Rob Gableman, how often do you dust your toy room? Not very often.
Not as often as probably
Really?
should. But
Yeah.
I just
like-
did it recently and it's like I really should do this more often than
Yeah.
once every 3 months or something.
Yeah. It's an endeavor.
We are fortunate enough to where a lot of our stuff is behind glass, so that helps. But yes, that's why I have to eat all this cheap soup now because I've got those expensive display cases. All right, guys, this has been a lot of fun. We've got like 3 minutes left. If you've got a question you're dying to be answered, go ahead and throw it in the chat. We'll try to get to it. Other than that, let's wrap this thing up. Jay, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Hey, thank you for having me. I like I said, I was like, man, I really need to hang with y'all. I've been hung with y'all in a minute, so I really appreciate the invite.
Yeah, I mean this kind of stuff's fun. Some really great questions. I like being able to just kind of talk about the hobby in general without getting too in the weeds on articulation and box art and just all the shit that people yell and scream about. Abby, any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. I'm overwhelmed with excitement for this year. We've got like a lot of cool trips coming up, a lot of cool toys to see and people to see at conventions. And I'm really glad that you were able to join us, Jay, and that we could team up like this. And I look forward to more team ups in the future.
More team ups. Jacob, anything else?
no, dude, you guys said it all. It's just there's so many toys happening, and it's just fun. It's fun that we can get together and just talk about the fact that we're all like adults and we spend so much of our time just being like having serious conversations about toys is the silliest fucking thing I can think of. And I would rather do nothing else. So
Hey, let's go to the chat. People are being so kind.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thunderhouse says this was great to get everyone's perspective. One of your best episodes since I've been watching. Thank you.
Whoa.
You know who's gonna hate to hear that. Who's gonna go? Yeah, we'll bring back Stump Craig about his own toys next week.
I'll bring it back.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's the best.
that was a
That's
fun time.
For Extreme next week.
Yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
that.
we'll do
That's
it.
my-
I'll get in the.
yeah, it's my
Yeah,
favorite.
I'll sneak in there.
Our Perby44 says, just wanted to say I don't make the live chat all the time, but all the toy anxiety people and at Dan Larson Secret Galaxy really ushered me into the golden age of collecting toys. Thanks.
Ooh, the
What a
golden
positive-
age.
Yes.
Yeah, man, this was great. Lots of fun. I want to plug this channel, like this video, hit the subscribe button. Let's grow out this toy anxiety thing. And also, I'm going to be putting a link into the chat right now to our other channel, which is the regular YHS podcast channel. So if you
Original
guys,
flavor.
the original OG mothership, and I think we should explain what that is all about. So YHS podcast is kind of the overarching brand that Toy Anxiety lives under, and we started it 7 years ago, and we gave it its own dedicated YouTube channel in the last year, and that's where we do all of our non-toy podcasts. Right, so this is where we talk about movies, we talk about Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles and Star Wars. We do live streams, and we just launched this new show called Ghostbusters Radio Live, which we're doing every other Thursday. And we do a live stream just talking about Ghostbusters, the fandom. We're building up to Ghostbusters Firehouse. This week, we're going to be talking all about Ghostbusters autograph collecting with our good friend Tom Henry, who's going to be announcing some new signings at the containment unit. In a couple weeks, we are going to be joined by actor Anders Holm from Workaholics, who was just a huge Ghostbusters fan. And
he's doing cool stuff too.
He's doing cool stuff. He's in the new Muppet Show coming out on Disney Plus and all sorts of other stuff. So we're going to be having that, and then more stuff we can't even talk about yet. We got a lot in the pipeline. So go ahead and subscribe to that channel. Tony Ramos, where did YHS come from? It stands for Yes, Have Some. It is a line from the movie.
Yes, have some.
Yes,
yes, have some.
I sometimes wonder if
do you want some more coffee, Mr. Tully?
That is part of it. We didn't put a comma. Our branding has no comma. It's just our branding. The phrase from the movie, there's a comma.
And it kills Craig. He still thinks about it.
I just
to this day.
we don't.
Do you want to have a comma?
I don't think
It's too
I
late.
don't
Yeah,
want.
yes, have some is very good titular wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put out. We should have a shirt that just has a comma with the no ghost thing through it.
We're known for not having a comma.
Commaless.
I just wanted to say really quick, Derek Hoover, this was nice. Not a question, just a sincere comment. Thank you to Toy Anxiety GDL and Secret Galaxy for helping me steer back into a great hobby away from toxic stuff and out of depression.
Look at that.
That's fucking awesome. Like that's like my process too.
Yeah,
Doing this helps me fight that stuff. So thank you.
Absolutely. I think the world's a tough place. Mental health struggles are real. Make sure that you're doing everything you can to take care of yourself out there physically and mentally. And if part of that is joining Toy Anxiety every week, then we appreciate it. For Jacob Walsh, Abigail Gardner, Ryan Dole, who's probably on a roller coaster right now, and of course our good friend
Dude, he's doing something with Peach.
Jay. He's fucking the Peach statue.
Oh, you just says it. Abby's trying to be like, oh, he's doing something with Peach, and Craig's just coming out.
Yeah, I was being cool about it.
He's like,
Craig's like, oh, he's
right,
fucking.
yes, he was. That's what he was doing. Anyways, and for Todd McFarlane, thank you as well.
Make a female action figure, Todd.
Amen.
Do it.
He
Let's
made-
do it.
made a
It's
Wonder
time.
Woman.
We're here.
He made a Wonder Woman. He was like, I wonder why we made a woman. Bye, everybody.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
See ya.
Fun. This is where the fun